Hey there students, welcome to Educate. Let us prove that velocity in polar coordinates is given by the velocity vector is equals to r dot r cap plus r theta dot theta cap. So remember that velocity is a derivative of position with respect to time. We are just trying to see the rate of change of position with respect to time. So covered in our previous video is that we have proved these following formulas, and we're going to use these to be able to derive the formula for the velocity vector using polar coordinates. So in this case, we've derived that the position vector using polar coordinates is given by r cap, and then we have also derived that the r cap vector, the unit vector for the position vector, is given by cos theta I plus sin theta j. And then we have also proven as well that theta cap, the direction of the angle between the vector and the x-axis, is given by sin theta I plus cos theta j. Now let us do the proof for the velocity. So since we have said that velocity is a derivative of position with respect to time, to get our velocity vector, similarly we have to make a derivative of the position vector with respect to time. In this case, the position vector using polar coordinates, it is given by r times r cap. And then this is all being differentiated with respect to time, because remember that the velocity it is actually depending on the time. So in this case, you can see that we've got a product of two things here. We've got a product of the magnitude of the vector r as well as its unit vector, which is r cap. So basically, we're going to use the product rule and express this to say that our velocity vector will be given by the derivative of r with respect to time. We are just differentiating the magnitude of the position multiplied by r cap without differentiating it, plus we find now the derivative of r cap with respect to time multiplied by r without differentiating it. So we've applied product rule because this is a product of two vectors. In this case, we have a product of the magnitude as well as the product of as well as the unit vector of position vector r. So now this is simpler to do because we know that the velocity vector will be given by the derivative of r. The first derivative, we write r, then we write a dot on top. Remember that when we write r and we write a dot on top, we are just simply referring to the first derivative of r. We are deriving the position, and then this is multiplied by r cap. This is multiplied by unit vector of r plus. Now the derivative of the unit vector r cap, it is unknown, but we can solve for it. Remember that when we are differentiating I cap with respect to time, we get 0 because I cap is the unit vector along the x-axis. It does not change with respect to time. When you differentiate j cap with respect to time, you get 0 as well because it is the unit vector along the y-axis and it does not change with respect to time. Same applies if you differentiate k cap, which is the unit vector along the z-axis, you are still going to get 0. But here we are differentiating r cap, which is the unit vector indicating to us the direction of vector r. So basically, we have to solve for dr cap dt. Then we have to multiply this by r. So our main motive is to solve for the derivative of r cap with respect to time, because we know that it is going to change with respect to time in a geometric perspective. So we know that the equation for r cap, or the unit vector of r, is given by cos theta I plus sin theta j. So we can find the derivative of that with respect to time. So basically, this is the derivative of r cap with respect to time. Our equation in this case, it is given by cos theta I plus sin theta j. So cos theta I plus sin theta j, this is going to be differentiated with respect to time. So we can notice that we still have got a product of things here. We have got cos theta, that is one thing, multiplied by I, and then we've got sin theta, that's another thing, multiplied by j. So we can do the same thing and of course get the of course you can just get the derivative there using the product rule as well. So here you have to do the derivative of cos theta with respect to time, then you multiply it by unit vector I, plus you do the derivative of unit vector I with respect to time, you multiply this by cos theta. So you've applied here the product rule for the first term to express cos theta I, to express the derivative of cos theta I with respect to time. Now we are remaining here with sin theta j. We can further differentiate that as well. This will be plus the derivative with respect to time of sine theta, then you multiply this by j without differentiating it, then this will be plus the derivative of unit vector j with respect to time, then you multiply this by cos theta, by sine theta I mean, without differentiating it. So this is multiplied by sine theta without differentiating it. So here we have two terms that are expressing the product rule for both these two terms. So basically for cos theta I, to differentiate it, you differentiate cos, you keep I, plus you differentiate I, you keep cos. That's product rule. You do the same thing for this second term that has got sine theta. You differentiate sine theta, you keep j undifferentiated, plus you differentiate j, you keep sine theta undifferentiated. So remember that we've already done an analysis and said that if you differentiate the unit vectors I, j, and k with respect to time, you get 0 because those do not change with respect to time. So in this case, the derivative of I with respect to time will just give us 0, so we cancel it out. And then the derivative of j as well is going to give us 0. So there was no need for writing them in the first place, but we are just trying to explicitly express them. So in this case, we are going to remain with d dt cos theta I plus d dt sin theta j. So basically that's what you have remaining. And if you differentiate cos theta, you are going to get something like this. So let me just move it here. So here we are finding dr cap dt. So if you differentiate cos theta, you get negative sin theta times the derivative of the inner function is theta and then dt. Remember that theta here is changing with time. So that is why we differentiate this with respect to theta. And then now this is plus. When you differentiate sine there, you're going to get positive cos theta. And then after getting positive cos theta, you're going to multiply that by derivative of theta with respect to time. This is you applying the chain rule because basically here you are having cos theta. Theta is an inner function. To differentiate this, you get negative sine theta multiplied by the derivative of theta with respect to time, because you're applying chain rule to differentiate even the inner function with respect to time. So now here is what you have. You can see that you have got a common factor here that you can factor out. You have got d theta dt here. You also have got d theta dt here. So you've got two d theta dt's. So we can basically take out the d theta dt from the equation. So we can take out the d theta dt from the equation, d theta dt, and inside we are going to remain with negative sine theta I, negative sine theta I, there's an I there, there's a j there, plus cos theta j. So here we have it. So this is you taking out the common factor, which is d theta dt. And to express d theta dt, you can just say finally dr cap dt will be equals to, if we express here d theta dt, it is just the first derivative of theta with respect to time. So you can just write that as theta with a dot on top, theta with a dot on top because it's the first derivative, just as we did here with r with a dot on top. And then this is into this expression here, which is negative sine theta I plus cos theta j. It is equivalent to theta cap, the unit vector for theta. So this is basically going to give you theta cap. So this is basically the derivative of the unit vector of dt. So you have found it. Now you can substitute it there because we were trying to find it so that we can substitute it here to find our velocity vector using polar coordinates. So substituting theta dot theta cap there, will have a final expression for the velocity vector to be equals to velocity is equals to, you've got r dot there, you've got r cap, then this is plus the derivative of r cap dt, we got theta dot theta cap. So you're going to write theta with a dot on top, theta with a cap on top, and then this is multiplied by r. So this is velocity using polar coordinates. So this is practically what we asked to prove here, that the velocity using polar coordinates is given by r dot r cap plus r theta dot theta cap. So this is how you prove the velocity using polar coordinates. Stay tuned for our next video. We're going to be doing acceleration in polar coordinates.